Who are you and where do you come from?
My name is Fletcher Johnstone. I'm from Warrnambool, the Gunditjmara regions. That's my.
Hello, I'm Fletcher Johnstone, and I'm from Gunditjmara, which reaches from Warrnambool to Colac and to Haywood. And I'm Fletcher Johnstone, and I'm from Gunditjmara. And I also believe in Bunjil the eagle. He flew over the land and created the land, mountains, waterways, and he created humans and animals.
What are 3 things you like about yourself?
What are the 3 things I really like about myself? Is my personality, I'm caring, and I'm funny.
My personality, my love of music, and my love of sport.
So what's your plans for next year?
Well, it's pretty scary about to finish year 12, but I've already got a really strong idea of what I'm going to do for next year. I'm already looking at university courses. I've already selected my 8 preferences. I'm hoping to do something in film and TV production, like behind the scenes, like filming the actual movies or TV episodes, and that's what I've liked for a while. And I would really love to do that for a career.
What about sport?
Well, I would love to play footy next year. Haven't done anything this year, obviously, but so I might be unfit when I go back out next year. But I've just been like, when I have some free time, I'll go out and play some basketball around here at school and just just get some shots up there. And that's what I do to keep me fit, really.
What would I like to achieve in life is complete university and become a film director and maybe one day have a very good family.
What would your dream job be and why?
My the top dream job I would do is like footy player. I'd love to get to that level, but I don't ever think I will. And I'm not really fully interested in it, but I would just really love to do it. And I've got a few actually. I would either like a film director as well. I really like films. I would love to create one day. Hopefully get a bit of get famous. And a musician, because I really love music, love to sing, love to dance, and yeah.
To be a film director or movie director and help out on like the behind the scenes of films.
How do you define manhood?
Manhood is when a boy becomes a man and grows up and becomes more mature.
So how do you define an Aboriginal role model?
An Aboriginal role model is someone with a very strong connection to the land around them and their people, and they have a lot of wisdom.
How do you define Aboriginality?
To define Aboriginality is just like a person who's like really connected with their culture and their country in their area of where they've grown up, or maybe another area that, I don't know, that makes them feel good about themselves and like makes them feel good when every time they're at that place. Like, for example, I live a bit away from the Grampians, but when I go and see my granddad who lives in the Grampians, every time I go there, I just feel a bit more connected to it, because it's just a place that's been untouched for a while, and it's still just mostly all natural. There's a bit of a settlement, but I mean, every time I go there, it just feels a whole lot, I don't know, I just feel a bit different and I feel more connected to that part of the land. And I think that's what Aboriginality is, like a person who's connected to their land or another piece of land and their culture.
What makes you proud to be an Aboriginal man?
I'm proud to be an Aboriginal man because of the attributes it comes with it. Like I said before, you're very connected to your land and you're connected to everyone else who might be Indigenous or non-Indigenous, But you just form you're like a nice, an approachable person, and you're easy to talk to. Like a lot of the Indigenous people, they're good to have a yarn every so often, and yeah.
What I love about being Aboriginal is the cultural, like, I don't know, just the connections that you feel with other Aboriginal people and to the land. And one stereotype I would like want to educate to other people is like not all Aboriginal people have to be really black. Like I'm obviously not that black, but I'm still Aboriginal, and I don't really know what else. But like Aboriginal is just, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be black to be Aboriginal.
What's your favourite colour?
My favourite colour is orange, and it's my favourite colour because it stands out a lot more than all the other colours. It's just very bright, and that's just like my personality.
What's your favourite hobby?
My favourite hobby is probably go for a kick of the footy, play some basketball up at the boarding house when in my free time. Just, I don't know, just get better at it, I guess.
What's the thing you enjoy most about being a student at Scotch College?
Well, it's good culture here, like good atmosphere with the boys. They really help you, and the education's just good, and it's real good fun. Well, Scotch is very good for young men and Indigenous boys, as it brings them all together and gives them a very good life experience, very good opportunities for them in the future. Like, say if they want to play high level footy, they can come to Melbourne and they can play the TAC Cup and like possibly get drafted, and coming here at Scotch helps that opportunity come to life a lot more, as you just got heaps and heaps of open doors here, heaps of people to help you out, and yeah, it's just a very good spot for boys to come.
Yeah. What's one thing in your life you're very proud of achieving?
Becoming a prefect at this school, at Scotch College, and it's just a very big honour to become one.
For the last couple of years you've been doing a mentoring program with AJ. What have you enjoyed about it?
I've enjoyed AJ very much. He's taught us some things. We've had some good laughs with him. He's a very good man, helps us, and I can say a lot, but can't really remember it. But over the years, it's been good fun.
If you could be an animal or a totem, what would you be and why?
I would choose the red-tailed black cockatoo, because that is my family totem back at home, and I find that animal really amazing. It's a very good bird. It's very rare from where we are. We're meant to get it at home, but you don't really see it a lot because of, I don't know, just we've been pushing it out of the area. But yeah, I would choose it because it's a very good bird, and I love it very much.
If you could write your life story, what would you call it and why?
I would say the journey, as like have gone through a very big journey throughout all my life. Like just coming to Scotch is probably the biggest journey, and just the experiences.
If you're a superhero, what special power would you possess and how would you make the world better with it?
I would have superhuman wisdom to help spread wisdom around the world to the younger generation, just influence them and get their mind around things like racism, like try to cut that out completely. Just be super wise and just help prevent any bad things from happening.
How do you define racism, and have you ever experienced racism?
To define racism is like a racial overtone or slur or comment towards a person about their race. Say like what I've experienced, it wasn't too bad, but it's probably just the casual racism throughout Australia. Australia is pretty casually racist without them knowing. So like just the odd question of like what percent of Aboriginal are you? That like it's not the worst there is, but it's still a form of racism because it like I feel every time somebody asks me that, I feel a bit like I don't really want to answer it because I shouldn't have to, and that and it just makes me feel a little bit funny because, you know, as I said, I don't really want to answer it. I don't have I don't need to because
How often does that occur?
it doesn't occur too often, but I think it's just mostly when the boys found out that I was on the Indigenous scholarship and that I was Aboriginal, they were like, "Oh, you're Aboriginal? I didn't know." And then they were like, "What percent are you?" And then why isn't your skin a lot darker and all that? So it doesn't happen too often, but I think it's just when people find out that when they find out that I'm actually Aboriginal.
Do you see any racism or discrimination at the school? And if you did, how would you try to resolve it?
I personally haven't seen it like pointed towards me, but I know that one of the other boys here has had it, and we took some action with that. We did an assembly, the Year 8 assembly, because he's year 8. We went to the assembly, had a talk, and just tried to spread awareness about it and try to prevent this from happening.
How disconnected have you or your family been to Aboriginal culture?
Well, I would say myself, I don't know too much about my culture, but I try to learn as best as I can. My mum, who in the past probably like 5 or so years, probably a bit more than that, she's started to really like grasp and connect with her Aboriginality, because my mum's the one with the Aboriginal heritage, and she's become more open about it. She's talked to the elders around home, and she's starting to learn a lot, and she's started her own business, which she sells paintings, Aboriginal paintings, and they're just from the top of her head. She might have a little bit of inspiration, but then after that, she just does her best. And she's really embraced her culture lately, and she's getting really into it. I reckon she's had an epiphany, as you would say, because like when I was younger, like we didn't really talk too much about it, but now because we're getting older, I reckon mum's becoming more not really acceptive of it, but I mean probably more in touch with her Aboriginality side, because she's really embraced it.
What aspects of culture would you want to make sure that your kids actually get?
Oh, I reckon try and learn as much as you could, because I mean probably the different aspects, probably like the dream time, the history, how they used to live, their beliefs, and stuff like that, because I really don't know too much about how they used to live, like what they did, like ceremony, like dance. I'd love for them to know a bit of that, because I certainly wish I did. And don't know what else, really. I think that would be about it.
What's one Indigenous issue that you're really passionate about?
That you don't have to be a full blood to be Aboriginal, and you can still have it in your blood. It's all in the blood.
What would you like changed in Aboriginal affairs if you had the opportunity to change it?
More positive headlines in the news for Aboriginal people, because it gives us a good look towards all the rest of society and doesn't make us seem like we're the bad guys or anything.
Well, I know that there's a lot of it around. I would probably change the learning of culture. Like a lot of schools, especially here at my school, they're really intrigued by it. They're trying to teach as much as they can with the Indigenous Partnership Program, and through you, AJ, obviously trying to get that message across, and probably just learning more about the culture, the history of the Aboriginal people, and trying not really to get people to accept it, but for those who probably don't know about it at all, I don't know how they wouldn't know about it, but just try and get it into their head and get it into the younger generation, because that's where we need it to be, so that the younger generation's where it needs to be, because they're the ones growing up, becoming the future leaders, politicians, and if they are taught them lessons about the history and the culture, they would be able to preserve it more, look after it better, and maintain it for the future.
I want to say thank you for participating in the interviews over the last 18 months or so.
Cool, thanks, Jack. It's been an honour. Pleasure.
2, 1. I don't know what the question is.
What are 3 things you like
2,
best?
1.
Fact number 2. The local beliefs of Palm Island is that it was formed in the Dreamtime by the broken up fragments.
2, 1.
Fact number 2. The local groups in Palm Island believe that the islands were created. This is so hard. It's gonna take so long.
Yeah, and look at mine.